Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for inviting me in this conference. I'll share my screen. The topic that has been given to me is the topic that has been given to me is prerequisites to AI for transforming business. So I'll be limiting myself to the uses of AI when we need AI to transform business. I'll not be talking about the other applications of AI, because the application of AI in business has got its own characteristic uses, which may not be true for other applications. So let us start with looking at the formal definition of artificial intelligence. The formal definition says that from the standard ISO 24028, it says that it is the capability of an engineered system to do what? To acquire, process, and apply what? Knowledge and skills. So this is the official definition of AI from ISO. What is an engineered system? An engineered system is a combination of interacting elements to achieve one or more stated purposes. So that is the first prerequisite for the use of AI, and that is that the stated purpose has to be very clear. You have to be very clear that why do you need AI? For what purpose do you need AI? So that is the first precondition. Then if you look at knowledge, what is knowledge? Knowledge is the facts, information, and skills acquired through experience or education. And what is information? Information is meaningful data. So the second precondition is that you must have data, and the data has to be meaningful. Now, what is meant by meaningful data, that we'll discuss in the next slide. So the two major prerequisites for artificial intelligence are a stated purpose and meaningful data. Now, so we look at these two things in detail. If you look at the capability of an artificial intelligence system, the first thing it should have to be able to be successful is the processes that underlie that purpose. So that purpose is from a capability, and that capability must be defined in terms of the business processes and the technology processes. The second thing is the rules that govern or that are built into those processes. And the third thing is the experience over the years, because what makes one industry or one company different from the other is not its processes, it's not its rules, but the experience that they've gained over the years. So these three things have to be very clearly defined for the purpose that you're using AI for: processes, rules, and experience. Now, this is the capability side. If you come to the meaningful data side, there must be very efficient data governance. And that data governance, what does it include? And with the data governance should be the controls over what? Controls over the processes, controls over the rules, and controls over the gathering of experience and the use of experience. The third thing under data governance is the data policies. Very clear data policies have to be defined by the top management and the board. And this is what most companies don't have, and that is why in some cases AI doesn't work. Then you must have a data strategy. So data policies and data strategy form a very important part of data governance. The next thing is data quality. How do you define data quality? How do you check data quality? And data stewardship. Who owns data? Who is responsible for what aspect of the ownership of data? Now we look at data quality. Data quality is something which is unfortunately not taught in most universities, and if it is taught in a very theoretical way. It is taught in a way which is not practically usable in most industries. So let's look at a practical aspect of data quality. First thing that the board should approve is a data quality strategy. Because you can have a very detailed data quality strategy, or you can have a very high level data quality strategy. It depends on how much you can afford to, how much resources can you afford to put into this aspect. So this is you must look for a break-even point for data quality. And there are three aspects of data quality. And all of these three aspects have to be defined as part of data quality strategy. Syntactic quality, to what detail will you go into syntactic quality? To what detail will you go into the semantic quality? And what detail will you go into the pragmatic quality? All of these things, syntactic quality is very scientific, it's very exact. Semantic quality is less scientific and less exact, and pragmatic quality is not very scientific. It depends on the humans. So all of these three aspects have to be defined for each set of data that has to be used in an AI system. Next is data profiling, and this is something which is not done. And because of that, you cannot use AI in business applications. Data profiling is a very key prerequisite to the proper use of AI in business. Next is data architecture, the interrelationship of different data elements that exist within the company. And this is one area which will define the very appropriate use of AI, because the decisions that you take using AI have to take care of the entire universe of the company, and that cannot be done until you've got data architecture defined. Then there's something called data modeling, which is not exactly data architecture, but it's something different from data architecture. Data modeling enables the management to look at data from a high level, it's kind of a bird's eye view of data, and it helps you redefine data when there's need. So these three things are very important for the proper use of AI. Number one, data profiling, data architecture, and data modeling. Then there are different types of data which have to be defined in a company so that they make use of AI properly. First is master data. Master data is data which is very relevant to the company. It is data that is a characteristic of that company, which makes the company differ from any other company. Next is the reference data. This is partly the company's own data, or the data that belongs to the industry of that company, or the data that comes from international sources, from standards. The third one is a business glossary. Master data and reference data and more form the business glossary of the company. And this enables the company to have, this enables every worker in the company to speak the same language, so that there is no misinterpretation of terms within the company. And the last thing, which is metadata, which defines the data which is contained in all of these, in master data and reference data and business glossary. So these are the main prerequisites for success of AI in a business system. Now, to assess, it's very important to assess all of these, and that has to be defined as the processes for data quality assessment have to be defined for master data, for reference data, for business glossary, for metadata, for data profiling, for data architecture, data modeling, for syntactic quality, for semantic quality, and pragmatic quality. So for all of these 11 aspects of data quality assessment processes have to be defined. And when you've assessed the quality of data, you have to clean that data. So processes for data cleaning, for data cleansing have to be defined. So these are the major prerequisites for the proper use of AI in a business system. That's it. Thank you very much for your patience listening. If you have any questions, you can put them and then we can answer them later on. Thank you very much.